Unified Championship Radio.
Look, if you had one shot, or one
Oh, yes, my friend. We have returned.
UCR Network, Ringside Rumble Radio. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year, and it has been a serious hiatus. We went CM Punk
We did.
on the UCR Network for a little while, but they paid us. We're getting the big bucks.
We held out, and
we
now
held out, and now we're running the show.
we got a couple million. No, I don't know about that.
No.
A couple million turkeys.
Yeah, a couple million pennies, maybe. Anthony, the Ant-Man, alongside Keith, Logan, the Loganator. How are you doing, my friend?
I am good. I am pumped for all this big news going on in the wrestling world.
Because this is a wrestling show.
That's all we're going to talk about is wrestling news. We're going to be talking about Kardashians. We're going to be talking about who's going to the Super Bowl. No, we're talking about who's going to Royal Rumble. That's what we'll be talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, now you know. This is Ringside Rumble Radio here on the UCR Network, Unified Championship Radio, and we are talking pro wrestling, and it's awesome to come back and do our first show with some great topics going on in the wrestling world, my friend. And we can start off with the big pay-per-view in January, the Royal Rumble. And my friend, I've been saying this for such a long time. I've been waiting for the title to be defended in the Royal Rumble match, or at least to be vacant. It hasn't been done since 1992 when the title was vacant. Yep, Ric Flair. That, to me, was the best Royal Rumble I've ever seen. Not only because the title was on the line or Ric Flair lasted the longest, drawing number 3, but it had so many stars, so many wrestling superstars, all in one event. Nowadays, you don't even get that. Sometimes you get Michael Cole coming in the Royal Rumble, and it's a mess.
Or you get somebody from like the past, like the Boogeyman, where you know he's not going to make it and win the title.
Yeah.
Or you get who was it last year that came? Was it Bubba Ray Dudley? He came as well.
Yeah, he came for a short time. It was a nice little pop for him, though. His was a little different.
I mean, sometimes yes, there's surprises. And you have previous wrestling personas that come in and make their appearance, and then you'll never see them again, maybe for like another 2 years or maybe a year or so. But it's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
I think it is definitely my favorite pay-per-view, more than WrestleMania.
Because I feel that there's a lot more excitement, and well, they try and make it very surprisingly. So
yes, they do. But there has been a problem over the last couple of years where you can telegraph who's going to win the Royal Rumble, and it's happened for the last 3 or 4 years.
Like the 1 year with Batista?
The 1 year with Batista. Roman Reigns last year. The John Cena the year The Rock won the title and they fought at WrestleMania 29. When you can telegraph them, that's when you have a problem.
It doesn't make it fun for the fans. And I think finally, hopefully, WWE writers and upper personnel finally realize that the fans are getting a little frustrated with this whole everything's predictable.
Yes.
When's the last time you saw the title match on Monday Night Raw where it changed hands? You don't see that anymore. It's always on pay-per-views, or that's the only time I can think of.
And for those who live under a rock and have not been watching Raw, I mean, I haven't been steadily watching Raw in a long time because it just isn't good right now.
I agree with you 100%. I kind of, after, what was the last pay-per-view? The December one.
See? Even then, it's like, I think Extreme Rules, right?
No, it wasn't Extreme Rules. See, we don't even know because we've been so out of the loop. I know I have.
Well, this is the thing, though.
The last pay-per-view I saw was with Sting when he got hurt.
Oh, that's Night of Champions.
Yeah, that was the last one I saw.
Here's the thing with wrestling and me. I love wrestling, but I usually go on a little hiatus between SummerSlam and the Royal Rumble, because
it's so
by that
flat.
time it's flat. Nothing exciting happens in between. We've had a couple exciting things happen, but besides that, nothing has really happens until you get to January and the road to WrestleMania begins.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had the Royal Rumble, and the road leading up to WrestleMania is good, even up to SummerSlam, which is kind of like the summer's version of WrestleMania. They've kind of made it out to be.
Well, didn't they extend the hour as well?
Yeah, they made it to 4 hours now, and they have like Fan Fest like they do for WrestleMania. So, the most exciting thing that happened probably in this whole time is that Roman Reigns won the title on Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm. Over Sheamus.
After he completely destroyed Triple H. And within one night, everyone who hated Roman Reigns, I don't want to say they all love him now.
Well, they jumped on the
But
Roman
they did,
Reigns bandwagon a little
Right.
bit.
So he's the champion. Vince McMahon comes back. And they're having a little feud now.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was going to happen on Monday Night Raw was that Vince would strip Roman Reigns of the title and put it up for grabs in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But he did me one better. He did something to change things. He has now made Roman Reigns defend his title against not one, not two, not three. I could keep going on, but I won't.
Yeah, it's okay.
But 29 other participants in the Royal Rumble, which means he's drawing number one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be probably the most interesting Royal Rumble in a long time.
Well, it won't be predictable. I mean, it could be, because down the road it could have...
At some points, I thought it was predictable, but after the news came down yesterday that I texted you that John Cena will now, and we'll get more into this later on in the show, but John Cena is now out until after WrestleMania.
After.
With a shoulder surgery.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. But he will be out. Seth Rollins, out.
Out.
Randy Orton, out. Cesaro, out. They have a whole bunch of superstars that are out and are going to miss Royal Rumble and WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking who's left. I'm sorry.
And losing John Cena makes things even harder because now you are really going to have to be careful with who you turn heel. Because right now, it's basically Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, but he's not going to get another title shot. I feel like
these are the faces of the WWE.
And then heels you have, let's see, Sheamus,
the League of Nations.
Bray Wyatt.
Yep, Bray Wyatt. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, who was hot, and he still has the IC title.
Yep.
So I doubt they would have him have both. So
I do have kind of a prediction of what I think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble.
I do as well. So
do you want to save that for next week's show, or do you want to elaborate?
Well, we can elaborate because it actually goes into another of our segments. So if we can hold it to the end for myself, like till we go to break, then I'll elaborate a little bit.
All right. So the Royal Rumble match, Roman Reigns defending his world title in the Royal Rumble match, and 30 participants. Who do you think is... I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least 3 to 4 surprise entrants. We already know that Jericho's in.
Do you think there's going to be anybody from NXT going into the Royal Rumble?
If anyone from NXT goes, it will probably be Finn Balor or Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm. I agree 110% with you on those two.
Besides that, I don't really see anyone else from NXT going.
Maybe,
Definitely not. It's not time for Samoa Joe yet.
No, I would love to see him, but I feel he's going to be down in NXT for a while.
Let's look at the WWE roster and what could possibly be put into the Royal Rumble. We already have Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. We already know Chris Jericho, who returned on Monday night. He will be in there.
Big Show.
Big Show. I thought I heard Kurt Axel will be in there since he never got eliminated last year.
But here, they ruined that gimmick so... They could have ran with that so much, with the whole never been eliminated, but then they decided, hey, let's throw him in and let's make him... Axelmania and make him look like a joke and look him...
Yeah. So he'll be in there as well. Of course, the 4 Wyatts.
Mm-hmm.
League of Nations would have to be in there. You have Dolph Ziggler. I'm pretty sure the Usos, the New Day, Kalisto will probably be in there.
Sin Cara's hurt, so he won't be in.
Yeah, that's why I only said Kalisto of the Lucha Dragons. I'm pretty sure the Dudleys will be in there.
The Ascension?
Maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll get Rhino.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll get Tommy Dreamer.
I don't know about Dreamer. I feel like Dreamer, with all the injuries he's had in the past, I feel like... Because if you even watched the match he was in with the Dudleys, it was Extreme Rules. I did see that pay-per-view. I watched bits and pieces. He was down on the ground for, I'd say, a good 15 minutes of the match. Then he came back in, did one silly move, got thrown down, and then he was out again for another, 20 minutes.
Right.
So I don't think he will be in the ring.
Now, I know he's coming back at WrestleMania, but now, given injuries, is the WWE desperate enough to bring The Rock back early?
They could be, knowing WWE. Is it right for fans? I don't think so. I think you're at a point, you have so much talent right now. You have so much people in NXT. Let them take over the torch. Let them show the people that they can shine. Rock's done as much as he can in WWE. There's no need for him to come back. I mean, yes, apparently Vince seems to think, oh, well, we can still use him and we'll put him in a match. I don't know. Who's he even supposed to be fighting this year?
There's no name yet.
There's no name yet?
People are assuming Triple H and Brock Lesnar at the point.
But I feel like he's over the hill in wrestling world. You get to a point when you've seen The Rock so many times. What's the point?
It's at the point where he's too over the hill because every time he comes back and fights one or two matches, he gets hurt.
That's what... And plus, I don't want to see The Rock anymore. I'd rather see somebody else who hasn't had a WrestleMania moment that is looking to get their break and they can start shining. I would love to see Samoa Joe on WrestleMania. I know it won't happen, but I think that would be great.
It could be, because they always have the Andre the Giant Memorial. And
but
they always add a couple of people from NXT on there.
That's just, hey, we have all these wrestlers. What the hell are we going to do with them? Let's all throw them into a match and a battle royal, and we'll just have the Big Show win again, or somebody who's, again, over the hill.
Yep.
It's not like anybody new really wins. So,
talking about old school wrestlers. Well, he's not really old school because he's still with the WWE, but Brock Lesnar makes his return
Monday Night Raw,
on
right?
Raw. Will he be an entrant into the Royal Rumble? I would have to assume so.
Of course. He never even got pinned when he lost the title, so I'm sure they'll play that up a bit and say, oh, well, Paul Heyman will come back, cut a promo, and ramble on about how he never lost the title. He was never pinned. I mean, he did lose the title, but he wasn't pinned in the last year's WrestleMania. So that could be a big part. Have a rematch, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, if they want to desperately do that again, which I think would be silly. But what do I know? I'm not a writer. I could be.
Also, someone who's been sitting on the sidelines patiently waiting, hasn't been cleared, or so they say. But what about Daniel Bryan? It's really hard with Daniel Bryan, because if you're going to bring him back and he goes into the Royal Rumble and he gets thrown out, whoever wins the Royal Rumble is going to get booed no matter what.
Think of last year with Roman Reigns. I would like to see him come back, but it seems I kind of feel that he's kind of looking outside of the wrestling world now to see what else he can do. I know he was on some YouTube channel a couple weeks back doing some organic farming with some guy. I don't even know the name of it, but he was doing like a vegetable organic gardening tips and this and that. Well, he's a vegan, so he's all into that good eating style. But I would like to see him come back. but will he come back? I feel they kind of gave him the reins